Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had End Times, where the family was taken to Hank's house to be put under DEA security. Let's see what else happened. So many things. I'm remembering the big thing, basically. I'm remembering the big thing, but I'm trying to get everything else down first. Gomez went over to the laundry to see if there was anything suspicious, but they didn't find anything, even with a sniffer dog. Meanwhile, Brock, the child of Andrea, was poisoned, and it seemed to be by ricin. And Jesse believed that, it must be Walt. So when he went to confront Walt, Walt was like, no, of course I didn't do it. And they figured out that it was actually Gus who was trying to drive the final nail between Walt and Jesse. Not sure if that's how that expression goes, driving the final nail. But you understand what I mean. And so after a very tense scene, the two of them were able to come up with a plan, and they were going to blow up Gus's car with him in it. But that didn't work. Gus did not go into his car. For some reason, he had a suspicion, but we're not quite sure what. And that was basically it. We are on to the Season 4 finale today. Isn't that insanity, man? That is insanity. And I'm excited. I'm super excited to get into this, and I'm also terrified. So yes, this is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that it is entirely possible that we will have to do a highlight reaction for this. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you've watched the past couple reactions, you pretty much know what that means, but I'll go over it one more time in case anyone doesn't know. Basically, if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Breaking Bad, what you may have to do, again, it's only possible that we're going to have to do this, but hear me out. What you may have to do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment and go click on the link. That link will take you over to my Breaking Bad reaction over on Dailymotion. However, if Dailymotion does not work for you, you don't like it, it just doesn't work, whatever the case may be, there is actually another link to the same reaction, 100% the same thing, just on Google Drive down in the description. So you can go click on either of those. That will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it. It's just like any normal reaction. Completely free of charge, just one click away. And when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this video for the discussion. However, it's entirely possible that none of this is going to be needed, and the reaction will start up in 5 seconds anyway. Let's find out as we get into this final Season 4 episode of Breaking Bad. Here we go. We still have another season? We still have another season? There's another season! How does the show not end there? I mean, I don't know, I feel like we've resolved the story. I honestly feel like we're done. Pack it up, boys. We are done. But no. There's 16 more episodes, I know. How did he get up and walk out? That's what I want to know. First off, there's that. How did he get up and walk out? He died as he lived. Stylish as hell. And, oh my god. He did it. And just like that. Just like that. This is Heisenberg. The only thing he was missing. The only thing he was missing was his hat. Oh my God. He won. Not only did he beat Gus, he beat everyone. Because he beat Gus. He beat Hector. It's the end of the cartel and the Salamancas forever. He's beaten the DEA. He beat Jesse. He I know. See, this is what's going to happen is I'm going to be sitting here for the next 5 minutes stuttering. Because I am in disbelief. That's what happens every time. Every time we do that. Every time I do that. Every time. And I repeat myself. For emphasis. Emphasis. My goodness. That, you know what? If that's how we... And it is. This is how we lose the greatest... One of the greatest villains I've ever seen, Gus Fring. That's fine. Because now we have the new villain. It's just that he's our main character. Because at first I was like, how on earth could Gus have just walked out of there? But that was a good reveal. That was a good reveal. Pan over and he's missing half of his face. The DEA must be confused. Because this... Gus is dead. Hank's main lead is dead. And not only that, but the lab is gone now too. It's all gone. Hank's entire case is gone. The only thing he could possibly think is that this is Heisenberg. But that's all he has now. Because I think he's always thought that Gus and Heisenberg were two different people, you know? But his entire case that he has built up with Gus is gone. It's just gone. Man. I mean, so that means that Gus technically didn't have a grand master plan. He didn't. Like, yes, he was going to kill Walt at some point, and he threatened Walt's family as well as threatening Hank. But, oh man. I honestly feel like we're done. It honestly feels like the show's over. Because we were introduced to Gus in Season 2. But since the beginning of Season 2, we've sort of had this story arc. You know? The story arc of after Tuco, basically. After Tuco, they wanted to find someone better than Tuco, and thus it led them over the course of Season 2 to Gus. eventually leading them to working for him throughout Season 3 and becoming enemies with him in Season 4. Ending up with the death of Gus by the end of Season 4. What's Season 5? We have another season. And I know the next season is longer. It's 16 episodes. The past 3 seasons have been 13 episodes. The next one is going to be 16 episodes. What are we doing now? I guess it's back to work. Go find a new RV. Go get Badger and Pete. Get back to work, I guess. There is still a lingering problem of Mike, though. So we don't know what that could mean, you know? I don't think Mike's gonna just forgive this so quickly. My word. This was insane. And even wrapping up, because this also wraps up the Salamancas, you know? Who we have had since Season 1. Since Season 1, that's been part of our story. So to have both Gus and the cartel completely wiped out of the story, how do we have another season? The only thing I could think, again, is Walt and Jesse getting back to work, restarting basically, I guess, just on their own. It must just be the two of them on their own now. But Walt can't take over the entire empire, can he? But he could start anew. I suppose he could start a new empire, because now there is a horrifying vacuum. There is a horrifying vacuum of power left behind by Gus and the cartel. There's a power vacuum, and Heisenberg could fill that. Goodness. And the other interesting thing, this is pretty much all Walt. Jesse contributed very little to this overall plan, you know? Because while, yes, he did contribute to the first part of the plan with distracting Gus long enough to get the bomb under there so that they could blow up the car. And he did provide the location for Hector. Other than that, Jesse really didn't do anything, you know? This was all Walt. All Walt. All Heisenberg. And he won. And that had to be so terrifying for Skylar. You know, when she's like, was this you? And he just says, I won. Hang up. That's it. And this is all incredible because it's also incredible that Gus never saw it coming. Gus didn't see it coming because he would have never suspected. He would have never suspected that Walt and Hector would work together, you know? Or he probably also never suspected that Hector would sacrifice himself to kill Gus. He would have never suspected that. And it all works because Gus had to be the one to kill Hector. It works because of that. Otherwise, yeah, that would not have worked. This is a very daring move as well, because this is so public. This is so public. And while, yes, this has confused the DEA to no end, this is so public that, look, this room exploded. There were 3 people in there. One of them was the person who lived in that room, Hector Salamanca. The other person in there was Gus Fring. Cut over to, there's a fire at that laundromat that Hank was investigating. Now, what can Hank make of all this? I'm not sure, honestly. Like they said, the DEA is confused. They are shocked that all this happened. But they are completely stunned that all of this happened. But what can they actually make of this? Maybe not anything at the moment, but there's going to be an investigation because this is flashy. This is the most flashy kill of the entire show. This is the most flashy kill of the entire show. Just a complete... Like, everyone knows. This is basically the same as Season 2. It's very similar to Season 2 with the plane crash, where this is so public. But the difference is that this was targeting someone specific. It wasn't an accident, you know? My word. My word. Oh. But what is next season? I suppose the last of Walt's enemies is the DEA, but I don't know. This man... Because it's not just that, oh, he's won. He defeated Gus, you know. But what he also did to Jesse, to specifically poison Brock like that is crazy. Notes... Surprise! Surprise, motherfucker. Surprise Gus. That's the first thing I wrote down. What would be a place to surprise Gus? Quite honestly, I would not have thought of Hector. You know what's interesting? Saul called him Tio. Now, you guys informed me a long time ago that Tio is Spanish for uncle. And that makes sense that Tuco called him Tio because he's his uncle. But it's interesting that he said Tio Salamanca when his name is Hector. So, I just thought that was interesting, you know? Anyway. But I was not thinking about Gus. Or I was not thinking about Hector. Excuse me. I was not thinking about Hector. Oh my god. I don't... Because I was running through everything in my head. I was like, where? And I couldn't think of anything. But Jesse would know. Because Jesse went there. Once and only once. Oh, man. We had the police questioning Jesse. Those two cops had the smuggest faces. Like, and I know I said at one point, it's like, I hate their faces. Like, it is not on the actors or anything. They were doing a good job making their faces as smug as possible. You know? They were channeling some of that Hank Schrader, you know, when questioning a dude. Oh, man, oh, man. So, that was interesting. You know, and it makes sense that it's like, okay, you know, oh, look for Ryson. How does this guy know about Ryson, you know? Now, it's interesting that the FBI would be involved in that. So, Ryson's a lot more serious than I really thought, you know? Ryson's a lot more serious than I thought. Now, granted, I guess, well, actually, when you think about it, yeah. I mean, Ryson, correct me if I'm wrong, is Ryson the one, like, that people, like, put into envelopes? Like, I know that that's, like, something that happens. Like, someone will, like, lace an envelope with ricin in order to kill whoever gets it. And I know that, like, I'm pretty sure, actually, like, a little while back, I saw that, like, trending, like because, like, someone sent a letter with ricin to the White House, basically. And I think that's happened before. So, yeah, honestly. So, okay, yes, that, honestly, yeah, that makes sense why the FBI would be like, why does this one guy know about ricin? Hold up. But, I mean, I understand why they would be like, hey, how does this guy know about ricin? But, honestly, Jesse does have a good point where it's like, well, wait, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I saw it on TV. I like how he breaks up House, too. That's really funny. I haven't seen House. I've only watched like a couple clips of it, like on YouTube. But that does honestly sound like something that would be in House. I guess in House. That's connection's gone. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, in House. Like, oh, this in House thing. Okay. But yeah, I guess it does make sense why the police would be curious about that. But I mean. But then again, like, you know, like he said, he's like, oh, I saw it on the Discovery Channel. The Discovery Channel is his greatest and worst lie he's ever told, you know? Like, that, I swear to God, he always goes back to the Discovery Channel. It's amazing, you know? But I mean, yeah, he could have seen it, like, on television, like, oh, people will send ricin to the White House to try to kill the president, but it never works, because of course it fucking doesn't. People aren't, like, the White House isn't stupid. They're gonna check the fucking envelopes first, but anyway. But yeah, like, that is interesting. Yes, it does kind of make sense that they would be like, hey, why does this guy know about ricin? But on the other hand, to be that insistent on it is a bit odd, and luckily Saul came in. Well, Saul came in to just sort of, you know, get them to stop talking, basically. Saul didn't actually do anything. The only reason Jesse was allowed out was because Bruck didn't have ricin, you know? So, I wrote down 25,000. I really, everyone at Saul's place I love. Like, I love Saul, I love Huel, I love Bill Burr, and I love that lady. I clearly don't remember their names, but whatever. We still don't know what happened to Ted! Ted has to be dead, right? Okay, like, that episode has not gone up to YouTube yet at time of recording this. He's got to be dead, right? But why would they not say he's dead, though? I don't get that. But yeah, we still don't technically know if Ted is dead or not. But I think he is. I'm just going to make it a safe assumption and say that he is, so. Anyway. But yes, but I do like everyone at, the Goodman place of work. And I like that woman being... Well, because, yeah, first off, you know, she's trying to shred through everything, which I guess Saul doesn't have to leave anymore. You know, Gus is not a threat, so there's that. But yeah, that, oh man. So I do like her being like, oh, it's like, oh, here's $1,700. That should fix, a glass pane. And it's like, and she's like, nope. Now it's going to be $20,000. That's what I want. It's like I'm actually glad about that she actually is like, hey, if I'm going to keep doing this stuff for you and your moron partner, I need something out of this. So I actually like that. That was really cool. I was so afraid that Gus was going to blow up his house, honestly. But no, because that's too flashy. That is so flashy. It's not a great idea. And Walt did that. It's at least with the other one. Doing it with the car, that could just, be left up to, oh, well, something happened in the car and it exploded. Whatever. But the fact that this was an explosion at a nursing home between Gus Fring and Hector Salamanca, and then the lab was burned down, that's gonna raise some red flags, That's gonna raise a lot of red flags. Again, it's going to be a while before the DEA can try to connect anything or try to build another case, but still. Anyway. But yes, I was very worried for Walt's neighbor, so that could have been bad. But it wasn't. Hector. Very, very clever. I like the using Hector in order to defeat Gus once and for all. That was very clever because, I would not have suspected that. And especially because, Hector hates Walt, Hector hates Walt and Jesse. He hates both of them because they were the reason that Tuco died, So, granted, Hank was the one that killed him. Well, I mean, they shot him and beat him, but still. Oh, man, God, that was so long ago, wasn't it? So long ago. Well, I'm glad, at the very least, that Hector did not have to play bingo any time before he died. Bingo is a sin upon nature. I hate bingo so much. Anyway. So, but yes, I do like that, and I love, Hector spelling out things, and I love when it's like, well, first off, because I thought it was DAA, but then it's like, no, DEA is not a thing. I was like, oh, it's like, is it deal? Is it, what are you trying to spell here? And I was like, oh, it's DEA, and I was like, DEA. He wants the DEA. Oh. So that was pretty cool. I like that. Anyway. So that was really, really cool. I like that. And then obviously, him going to the DEA and spelling out, suck my, and then he started, spelling out other things. That was funny too. But he didn't need to do anything at the DEA. He just needed to go to the DEA because that would arouse the suspicion of Gus, So that was very clever. No ricin. It was not ricin. It was not ricin that poisoned Brock. That is so insane. That is so insane. And then the bomb. And okay. Man, and it took out Not Victor too. Poor Not Victor. It's just crazy. And the fact, because Gus would never think that Hector would work with Walt, and he would never think, and I would never think, that Hector would sacrifice himself to kill Gus. How that didn't immediately kill Gus, I don't know. But this is a crazy shot, too. You see this explosion, and he walks out anyway. I'm like, what is he, the Terminator? How is this guy still alive? Fix your tie. Holy crap. That is so insane. Just to see just his face just gone, you know? That was so crazy. But I like, again, died as he lived, stylish. Went out and adjusted his tie first. I like that. Oh my gosh. And I love this scene here too, where Walt just hears it on the radio and it's like, all right, then he knows he's won. By the way, he's been driving a white car all episode. Whose car is that? That is not his car. Like, did I miss something? Where'd that car come from? Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, he's dead. And yet, it is honestly amazing that didn't instantly kill him, but it let him live just long enough to walk out and adjust his tie. Goodness, just missing half of his face, you know, that was insane. Oh, man. He is dead. And not Victor is dead, and everyone else is dead because Walt went in and shot everyone. And the lab is gone. So, I mean, what do they do now? They basically, now, if they are going to restart and try to fill in with basically a new empire, they have to start from scratch now. Like, that's going to be crazy. Oh, man. So, yeah. We had the fire. The lab is gone. The lab we've had for 2 seasons is gone. Brock recovered. Yay. But it was Lily of the Valley, which is grown in the backyard of Walter White. And it's interesting, you know, he says, like, oh, Gus didn't poison him. You know, and it's almost like, you know, he's questioning, is like, were we right to kill him? But yeah, you were, actually. At least Walt was. You know, Walt was still in danger with Gus alive. So, like, it's still, yeah. Yes, you know, yes, what you did was good, you know, for you, but yeah, that was crazy with him being, you know, him basically questioning, it's like, did we do the right thing, you know, but, I mean, you had to, honestly. I won. It's so strange to end on a high note for Walt, you know? The fact that he actually won. That's so strange for this show. Because anytime he has had a small victory, he's been knocked down. So to have a major victory like this is insane. He won. Everything went according to his plan. And now we have lost the great Gustavo Fring. And I have a feeling we are in for another bonkers season as we move on into season 5. This has been incredible. It honestly feels like we're done, but we're not. We still have 16 more episodes, and we also have a movie I noticed. El Camino. Don't know what's going to happen there. This has been an insane season. I love Gus. Gus has kind of been one of my favorite characters, and I am excited to see where we are going next time. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time in Season 5. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.